Well, patience is the name of the game when it comes to day trading. Today we had news coming out at 8:45 Central and 9 o'clock Central. It was manufacturing and new home sales. And so I wanted to be patient through those news drops to see what would happen and what type of volatility we would get out of it. Ended up waiting for some good setups and made a couple trades. So please sit back and enjoy the stream recap where we go over those trades. Yo, good morning. Happy Tuesday. All right, quick recap. We got manufacturing and new home sales coming out at 8:45 and 9. 9 o'clock being the one that's somewhat interesting to me personally. We'll see. This is where we stand currently on the daily level, bouncing off this little wick zone, whatever you want to call it, liquidity zone, wick zone, whatever. If we flush this low that we put in, this overnight low, I think that 700, 691 makes a lot of sense. Like if we make new lows from this overnight session, at 825, we crack 825. I think we're rotating down to 700 maybe. We'll see. If we push 960, I think the move up to value area high makes a lot of sense. Up at 13,100, but I also think the test of like 13K psych level up to 1340 makes a lot of sense. Basically, this little zone, 13K through this zone, not necessarily value area high, but this prior little support I think makes a lot of sense. We'll see. All right, we got 4 minutes till news at 9 o'clock. Which might give us a little bit more volatility. Delta's getting a little flat here as we're just kind of consolidating. So at this point, I'm very curious on like a very clean rip through 13K, come back down, retest it potentially, or a rollover. Those are the two options in my opinion. So of what I want to see trade. This is looking rippy. I like the top of the channel here, and it's bouncing out of it. Should have taken it. Love that. Love that for me. Quick 20 points. Nice. Same exact trade would be at 64, basically. I'm taking the 64 trade. Looks a lot less hot on the 5-minute chart. That's for freaking sure. And we're getting those sellers coming through. Potentially. I'm taking it off. All right, it's 270. We'll take it. Drop some little bags for that one. If you're watching the video, make sure you press the thumbs up button down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Check out the links down below. Click my Instagram. Give it a follow. I like that trade, though. A little sketchy. I should have taken the one at 50. That's the one I was like, I'm pretty sure I literally was hovering my mouse over the buy. Because breaks out, retest of the prior high. That's why I got long. Comes down, retest the prior high again at 72, rips. Very short-term little channel here. Very nice, honestly. And it just did that over and over again. Boom, boom. Test the prior high, rip. Test the prior high, rip. Delta looks good. Pretty like programmatic, maybe I would argue. Like that's just like clean price action in my opinion. Looked like Elliott wave theory. Get that out of here. Nah, it's just a break of the prior high and a retest. It's a lot easier to see that here on the 22 range. Like that's a clean way to see that on the 22 range. On the 5-minute chart, a little harder to see that, right? It just looks like a big rip. In fact, when I turned it over to the 5-minute chart, I was like, this looks bad. Like this looks sketchy that I'm longing up here. But when you look at it on the 22 range, it gives you that confidence. And I left 30, 40 points on the table. I didn't feel comfortable holding that though into 13K. So is what it is. Felt a little sketchy. And now we're just continuing the rip, it looks like. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens at 1320. Actually, 1340, I think, is the level that we've been talking about. And then yesterday's value high at 1380. So 1347. This little cluster right here is what I'm talking about. It's kind of interesting to me. 1340s all the way up to 1380s. Looks pretty magnety to me. All right, nice little sell-off here. Delta staying up, pushing into that volume, point of control. I'm going to take a long. Delta trying to stay up pretty well. The kicker being that we could float pretty quickly down to 41. So just got to keep my eye on it. I feel like we've been doing this type of test a lot recently. Rips, comes down, tests the open, the prior open, and then rips off it. Have y'all been noticing that? I've been trying to call it out because I feel like I've been seeing it a lot. Obviously, of course, we're not really getting a great bounce off it right now, but I feel like I've been seeing that a lot. Kind of floating here to the downside. Just traded right below the prior low. If we get the VWAP bounce, I'm going to snag it. All right. ES closed below VWAP. Nas closed right at it. We got that second contract in. Trying to open up below. Value area low at 76. Excuse me, 26. If we can't get through it, that's bad news. ES is dumping on the clean break through it. Trying to be a little patient just because we are at the bottom of the range. And we're at the time where we probably start chopping. ES got point of control at 45 now. Nas still has got point of control at 65. Realistically, if we actually push 65 and we crack it, I should not be looking at a 79 exit. I should be looking more at like 13K. Buyer's trying to look good here. I think this is what should be at 79. We're front running it just a little bit. Realistically, top of the range. But we got to get the bounce off VWAP here. Trying to close pretty strong here. All right, new 5-minute candle just opened up. Buyers look pretty good here, to be honest. Breaking the prior high, pushing into volume. There's 65, point of control getting traded. Nice little sweep off it. I feel like this is fairly expected. I don't know. I'm iffy on if I should have taken one off there or not. From a leveraging perspective, probably not a terrible idea, especially if we dump right here. Because then I would have just taken 2 break-even trades. I'm not sold on that. That's a pretty hard rejection off of volume there at 65. We now got point of control at 45. I don't know. I feel like that is kind of a tricky play call here. My opinion. Tricky management. Because you're either just taking one off in the midst of extreme strength, which I guess is never a bad idea. But I thought the rotation up into the prior range was pretty likely. But that was definitely a nice sweep to the downside. Back above, pushing nicely. Was that the last test of VWAP? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'd love for it to be. Delta looks good. All right, let's see what happens here at volume. ES ripped through the prior high. Makes me feel decent about holding this, but again, got to play by ear. Got to be smart. There we go. Trying to rip through volume. 65. All right, I'm taking one off. It's like a $95 loser on that trade. We just have one open. Mostly, I just don't want to like sit in negative drawdown all day. Sitting in this trade, I'm fine with. Absolutely. So right now, I could kill this trade. Be up, what, $600, something like that. Which I might do. Just call it a day. Because it's 9:52. And we're rejecting again. Yep, that's it for me. I'm not interested in this type of price action. You could see the slides that we had here on the ES the whole time, and the NAS being right pinned up against it. Meh, just not too juice. 575 on the day. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I will see you tomorrow morning for some hump day action. Look, we're kind of selling off here pretty nicely. Very happy I killed that trade. GG's.